talk a little bit about peaking. That's a huge thing in college sports. High school, I don't think it's as much of a thing. They can really kind of beat up their bodies, but there's ebbs and flows, obviously, to a season where you want to be wrestling, competing at your best. Where does strength and conditioning come into that formula?
So as I said earlier, I manage all of this information, and luckily for us, like we have a ton of technology that kind of peels back the curtain and makes it very, very easy to see who is overtraining, who's tired, or who's, like you said, peaking and trending up. For me, using technology in the weight room helps me with that. So force plates, measuring how fast guys are moving the barbell, and then seeing how they sleep. What's their quality of sleep and resting heart rate? That tells me a lot about their readiness state. Ideally, what we like to see is PRs on force plate jumps or lifts that we track year round, closer to March, end of February, closer to March.
So you're actually having guys lifting their heaviest closest to March.
Not necessarily
not like working
lifting
out,
their
but
heaviest.
like they are able to lift their
Peaking,
heaviest.
exactly. Their physical outputs are their best closest to the NCAA tournament. And we will structure practices to help get them there. So I can report to the coaching staff, these 3 to 4 guys are not recovering even though we're easing back a little bit. We need to add in a little bit more recovery, or we need to ease up even more. And they are receptive to that because they understand that championship season is championship season, and we need to be at our best when we have to be at our best.
When you say they need more recovery, what does that look like? Is that just time away, or is that foam roll, hot tub, stuff like that? Or
Think next level. So we're blessed here. We have a light bed in our locker room that manages inflammation. So we're managing.
We just lost lights.
So
what's a light bed?
So
I am very
near infrared light, basically.
Okay.
Red light therapy.
Okay.
So it manages the inflammation. Less inflammation means more recovery. We're blessed with our football facility being directly across the street from us. Literally, I could throw a golf ball and hit it from here. We have float suites in there, so it promotes extremely deep sleep, cryotherapy, massage therapists.
I want to do a float tank so bad. They sound so cool.
They are cool. They are really, really cool. You will never sleep as deep as you do in the tank, and then that night, your sleep is amazing. So sleep is the number one remedy. How can we minimize inflammation and maximize quality of sleep? And that's what we're trying to do when we say recover.
What's target amount of sleep per night for a high-level athlete?
For these guys, I really want to see 8 hours.
Now, is that 8 hours of sleep, not in bed?
Exactly.
Eyes shut? Or
so you go to bed at, say you laid down at 10 p.m., your alarm went off at 6. I got 8 hours of sleep.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. You went to bed at 10, your alarm went off at 6. You got way less. So you need to budget that in. And that's where the Oura rings that we wear really play a large role in being factual with how much sleep did I actually get? What was my sleep latency? And so that way they can really start to manage their body clock.
These Oura rings, what all do they track?
On a surface level, it's how much time did you sleep? How much time did you spend in bed? How much heart rate variability did you have? So the time between your heart actually beating and then what was your resting heart rate overnight. So it measures everything internally in that sense, and then how much movement do you get, and that's how it kind of detects when you start to fall asleep.
Interesting.
I saw you after the lift. You were talking about an Oura Ring accountability program.
Yes.
I want to ask you about that. Is there punishments if you don't get enough sleep? Like, how does that work?
This is like Alcoholics Anonymous for for kids who don't get enough sleep.
No, we cannot punish. No, that's really against the rules there. We cannot punish, but in order for the staff to help them recover better and understand what good habits are, they have to be consistent with wearing it. If they're not consistent with wearing it, I can't tell them if their sleep is poor or if they're under recovered. Mm-hmm. So we like to see 5 out of 7 nights per week. We feel as though that will give us enough information to make individual recommendations. And it is an invasive piece of technology because they do have to wear it to bed. So if that's not for them, that's their choice. But lucky for us, we do have a lot of high achievers here. We recruit high achievers, and they want that feedback because it's going to make them better.